All right, I'm going to get started. Good morning, everybody, or I'm sorry, good afternoon. Good morning, maybe somewhere else, but in Connecticut, where I am sitting today, it is afternoon. Um, my name is Rocco Longarello. I am the marketing content creator at New Horizons, and I will be your MC today. What that really means is I'm here just to relay any questions you may have for our presenter, but mostly it's all about our subject matter expert today. Um, the title today is called Skill Up with the Next Wave of Citrix Training. And our presenter today is Khalaf Haddad, who is the recipient of the 2015 Citrix Certified Instructor of the Year Award. So you're very lucky today to sit with a well-established expert in the field. He's going to go and talk about basically what's new in Citrix for 2017 and how we can help you uncover the power of these technologies. Just real quickly, if in case you're not familiar with us, I'm just going to give a little bit about New Horizons. We're the largest independent IT training company in the world, and we have literally the best instructors in the business, and you're about to listen to one today. We provide learning solutions for companies large and small on a great number of technologies, not just Citrix. We also have professional development training on a variety of areas such as project management, Office 365, and even things like business communications. So if you're looking for training of any kind, you really do not have to look any further than New Horizons. So with that all said, I'm just going to step back and hand this over to Halaf. If you do have questions, you could wait until the end, or you could send them off as is into the questions box. And if I feel they're relevant to address immediately, I will do so. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Rocco. It's great to be here with you. Again, you got my name, Khalaf Haddad. Been teaching Citrix products for a few years. This is actually my 25th year in technical training, and it's been fun to watch a lot of technology grow up. Like many of you, looking around sometimes trying to figure out what is a good next step in professional development, and I would submit that Citrix is a great way. Now, you're probably here because you already have some interest in Citrix, and what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about uh, the product offerings in terms of what training classes we offer that go along with the certifications and why certification matters. And then, as Rocco said, if there are any questions, we'd love to take those on for you as we go. I've got my mini resume.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Oh, okay. Well, good afternoon. My name is Khalaf Haddad, and I will be your instructor or presenter today for this Skill Up with the Next Wave of Citrix Training. As many of you are here in order to get a handle on what our product offerings are, and we're looking forward to doing that. So it's kind of an interesting little bit of a loop there. But as we go through the webinar, again, if you do have questions, feel free to post them in the chat window there, and we will address them as we can. But I want to take you through a little bit about what the Citrix product offerings are, maybe a little bit about what it's about. So some of you might know Citrix is a software company founded all the way back in 1989. It's currently known as the industry leader in remote application access and virtualized infrastructure. So it is an industry leader in the virtual application, virtual desktop space. And there's a good chance that if you go into a company today, that you will find them because they are present in over 300,000 companies. Everything from regional hospitals and school districts to banks, manufacturing, airlines, government at all levels. Just fantastic because of what they do and how well they have been doing it. So the Citrix product offerings, which also dovetail with the certifications, three that we're going to focus on today are virtualization, networking, and mobility. Of these three, Citrix is best known for its virtualization product line, and perhaps among those, XenApp is perhaps the most famous and widely used, best known products out there. It's the one that allows you to run a Windows application from any device. And the Citrix mantra of any device anywhere does ring true. They have client software for a number of different platforms, including Mac, Windows, iOS, Android, Chrome, and even an HTML5 client for any as yet undeveloped or non-existent operating systems. So the fact that you can run inside of an HTML5 browser means it's quite literally wide open at this point. Now, the current version of the XenApp product line is 7.11. They did skip the 7.10 number because that would have conflicted with the 7.1 version that they released a few years back. So, kind of an interesting thing there. Along with remote applications, we also offer Zen Desktop, and it maintains the same versioning because XenApp and Zen Desktop are the identical product, identical binaries, identical architecture, etc. The only thing that differentiates XenApp from Zen Desktop is the licensing that you would purchase. So if you want to be able to work with virtual desktops, that would be the Zen Desktop offering. In short, a very, very simplified, perhaps oversimplified way to look at it is with XenApp, you can offer resources from a server operating system such as Windows Server 2012. With Zen Desktop, you can offer resources from either a server OS or a desktop OS such as Windows 8, Windows 10. Well, offering these virtualized resources, it would be great if Citrix has a hypervisor, and they do. It is a lesser-known hypervisor solution called Zen Server. But if you do want to put out virtual machines, Citrix does actually include the Zen Server product if you purchase the top-tier license of either XenApp or Zen Desktop. So if you get into the Citrix product line, Zen Server is a very attractive hypervisor solution because it doesn't cost you any extra if you purchase the Platinum Edition of one of those products. Well, in terms of the training courses, we have a number of them out there, and this list is actually growing as we speak. But when we look at the training offerings, you can look at them in three categories. And the categories I've listed out here would be along the lines of how you would go from soup to nuts, from beginning to end, in a Citrix rollout with XenApp and Zen Desktop. You would, of course, begin with the design process where you would review all of your requirements and build a design document. And that's what the CXD 400 class is all about. So for those that are going to be heavily involved in designing Citrix solutions on a day-to-day basis, the CXD 400 is a good class to go through the thought process and learn how to, in a lot of ways, be like a Citrix systems engineer or consultant. That's kind of the target audience there. But for most, the manage and deploy is where things are at in terms of being able to take a design document and actually roll it out. That would be what we cover in the CXD 300 class, deploying solutions with XenApp and Zen Desktop. And once it's been deployed, then you would go into a management track there of the day-to-day maintenance kind of a thing. I've also listed there that we do have a course to get you up to speed on working with the Zen Server hypervisor. That's another beautiful option there. But then beyond that, once the initial deployment has taken place, if we're going to pass along some of the administrative responsibility to our help desk team, we do have a 2-day course to prep them for that. And then beyond that, as you continue to support, whether it is release training for the newer versions or some advanced concepts such as optimizing or troubleshooting, advanced troubleshooting, there are some additional 2-day class offerings that step up into the mix. So as you see there, I did indicate that the XenApp Zen Desktop product is currently at version 7.11, but you see here that the courses offered are version 7.6. Now, the reason for that is because Citrix has adopted what they call their long-term release, current release strategy, meaning that a long-term release will be refreshed every 2 years, whereas a current release will be refreshed every 6 months. And so the base courses are built off of the long-term release, and then there's a CXD 230 class here that is designed to give you the updates. In other words, what has changed, what new features have been added to the product since the previous release. And so they've just released an update to the CXD 230 course. So if you've been working with XenApp XenDesktop 7.6 for a while and you're now seeing some 7.9 or 7.11, coming by for that 2-day CXD 230 class is a great way to catch up on all the new features that have been introduced and give you an opportunity in the lab environment to take them out for a test drive. So every 2 years, as they do the long-term release, come by for the full 5-day training, and then every 6 to 12 months, as needed, keep up to date with the CXD 230. All right, so that's the idea there. Some of you might be saying, well, what if I need training on my existing XenApp environment? What if we haven't gone to version 7X yet? What if we're still running XenApp 6.5? Well, there is still an offering that Citrix provides that if you do need to get up to speed, suppose maybe you're new to Citrix, but your environment is still based on XenApp 6.5, it is still offered and will continue to offer till at least June 2017, maybe later. So if you're looking for training on your existing legacy environment, that is still available. So to summarize, depending on what your role is, what might be a good course for you to fit in, depending on whether you are looking at being help desk or level 1 support, or if you are on the Citrix team, you might be looking at the manage and deploy classes. Very few people are going to be up there at that design place where you're going to be designing week in and week out. But that's where we would offer some recommended courses for you as you're looking to either build up your Citrix skills or certifications. And I'll get to certifications here in just a moment, because those actually loom rather large on the horizon here. All right. Do we have any questions at this point in time? Nope. Seems a little bit quiet. Okay. Cool. Well, we'll continue then. Now, the mention there, because of the different versions, and I did point this out, that because of the way that the current release, long-term release is, even though the full 5-day course is still based on 7.6, the newer versions will still be good with that training, because that base training doesn't look at the new stuff, it looks at the commonalities. So you'll be okay with regard to that. All right, the second area is in the NetScaler world. In the NetScaler world, that's in their networking product line. And the NetScaler is an application delivery controller, which is sold either as a physical appliance or a virtual appliance for the purpose of secure remote access to applications, as well as load balancing, content switching, policy management, responder rewrite. There are a number of different features with the NetScaler. We actually offer 12 unique training days of NetScaler content, and we still don't cover the entire appliance. That's just how big it is. And so as we talk about the NetScaler in class, we cover the basics. Now, the current version of the firmware is 11.1. The current course version is 11.0, and that .1 release was mostly, well, I should say mostly, but a large part of it is a prettier UI, user interface. There's some enhancements there, but again, if you're using an older version of the NetScaler like 10.1, 10.5, even the current version will again deal with the basic principles that you can apply to a number of different versions. All right. So with that, there are a couple of different approaches depending on whether your focus on using the NetScaler is to support secure remote access to your XenApp XenDesktop environment, or whether you're using NetScaler as a pure networking play for load balancing and data center failover and clustering and such. And so we have two different course numbers. Both courses offer 3 days of NetScaler Basics, followed by 2 days of specific targeted content. So the first course will focus in on some of the additional traffic management features, such as responder, rewrite policies, clustering, global server load balancing, etc. The gateway, the unified gateway component, will focus on that secure remote access to your XenApp XenDesktop environment. Now, we will be very shortly adding 2-day courses to cover that other content. So if you were to come to one of these 5-day classes and you wanted to pick up the other 2 days of content, you wouldn't have to resit the first 3 days of the week. You could just come in for that Thursday and Friday. They're also offering, and this is actually in the process, they're just about to make an announcement on an update to their advanced courses, where we'll get into some other optimization and monitoring of the NetScaler. I think it's monitoring and I can't remember the other part of it, but that will be coming out shortly, so that will expand the networking offerings there. The third area of training offering is in the mobility world, and Citrix has a couple of products with regard to, in the mobility space, the industry-leading Zen Mobile product suite for managing mobile devices, mobile device management, mobile application management, with an eye towards BYOD, or bring your own device, which has become a very popular thing in the last few years. One of the challenges with mobile device management, mobile application management, is that we're talking about such a wide range of devices that access to our environment needs to be controlled by requiring policy enforcement of those devices, making sure that they meet a certain minimum firmware update so that any security vulnerabilities are closed, that the application access is secure through a micro VPN tunnel that's set up and embedded in the application. And then Citrix also has a share file product, which is like cloud storage, very similar to Dropbox or Microsoft OneDrive or the like. And there are some course numbers that go along with that. But I think what's even cooler is that when we look at the certification groupings, and this is where it really begins to matter a whole lot, is that with most of the 5-day courses, there is a voucher that's included with the course, but also know this, that according to the salary survey completed in April of this year, if you have the mid-tier virtualization certification, the average reported salary was 6 figures. And so that's kind of a cool thing to see. Now, I also want to highlight, and this just arrived in my inbox today, so I did not incorporate it into the slide deck yet, but Citrix just pushed out why 2016 is the year you should get Citrix certified. And just like Mr. Krabs from Bikini Bottom would say, it's the money, boy, as you look to earn more money with Citrix certifications. All right, IT pros with the new Citrix cert earn average salaries of $90,000 per year, which from that previous salary survey quote, again I quote, is a little bit low. But also from another certification study, 6 of the top 20 highest paying certifications are Citrix certifications. Do you know how many Citrix certifications there are? 6. So all 6 Citrix certifications are among the 20 highest paying, most of any tech company. So 1/3 are there for you. And I think you have these in the downloads area, so you can download these here from the presentation. All right. So as you look through this infographic, they again highlight the 3 areas: virtualization, networking, and mobility. And as you go from left to right, you're talking from highest to lowest supply. And if you think about supply and demand in that way, you'll see that with the higher supply, average salary for these certificate holders ranges from $98,000 to $103,000 a year. So if that's not incentive to increase your marketability and your value to the industry, I don't know what else would be. So in terms of looking for a career move, Citrix is a fantastic place. Like I said at the beginning, I've been in technical training now. This is my 25th year in technical training. And I started out back in the dinosaur days with Novell NetWare. And I moved on to the Microsoft world with the Windows NT, Exchange Server, eventually getting all the way into SharePoint. And then about 4 or 5 years ago, moving over to the Citrix world as I saw what was available there. And I've really enjoyed being in that space. Along the way, I did a little foray into Cisco. So it's been fun to see all of these different certifications, all these different vendors. But right now, Citrix certifications are in demand more than ever. And so a great way to get ready for that is to, as I say here, get ready at the bottom. One thing to focus on is to take a class. And take a class with us. We'd be very happy to host you. Talks about the labs. One thing you do get in our courses is a lab environment. Let me go ahead and show you what that lab environment looks like. I'm always amazed at how in the when I think about how the last 25 years have been, where if a student needed 2 computers, they would have to share the one next to. But now with virtualization, what you're looking at here on my screen is what I'm teaching this week. I'm teaching the CXD 300 course, so we're walking through deploying a XenApp Zen desktop environment. So you see that I have a number of virtual machines here. I have the product ISOs ready to go so that I can insert them and run the installations. I have all kinds of servers in place to test with, notably things such as like the domain controller. I even have a pair of NetScalers that we'll be playing with on Friday. SQL Server, Storefront. So just this beautiful lab environment where we can actually try out the product, and of all things, we're kind of getting a little bit in there with regard to the Zen server, because we're using the Zen server product to virtualize all these machines. So we're not, as we're telling you about the Citrix product family, we're not saying, oh, by the way, we're going to use VMware or Hyper-V. We're going to actually use Zen server in addition to XenApp and Zen desktop and NetScaler. So in this course this week, we're looking at all of the major Citrix technologies and understanding how they connect and they work together. So that's what's really cool about that. So, yeah, we mentioned that. So as far as the progression goes of the Citrix certs, you begin with the associate level, which is an entry-level cert, and then you progress to the Citrix Certified Professional, followed up by the Citrix Certified Expert. Now, not every product category has a corresponding certification, but they all have a Citrix Certified Professional level, right? Virtualization and networking both have an associate level, and the virtualization also has the expert level. So these are the 6 certifications that are defined. I suppose there's a 7th, which is the Citrix Certified Instructor certification. But these are the 6 that are in the top 20 of highest paying certifications. So going forward, if you're looking for some additional information, I'll direct you to a couple of different places. One is the Citrix Education website itself, which has a lot of great information on it. Let's see if I can drag that up real quick. Let's see, here we go. Training.citrix.com, there it is. All right. Okay. Not sure why. All right, there we are. Come on, don't be shy. There it is. Okay, so here on the training.citrix.com website, you can read more information about the certifications, about the particular offerings that are listed there, and that's all fine and well. The second link that I've given you here in the slide deck for the class schedules is, whoops, let's see, nhls.com, and if I were just to search for Citrix, you can come through and look at the ones that we currently have on our schedule, and we will be updating this in the next little while here. So if you want to look at the certifications for, say, like what I'm teaching this week, the CXD 300, deploying app and desktop solutions, come check out the course outline, what will be covered, and find out when we're running it next, which is December 12th, the week of December 12th. So a lot of good resources there for you. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of encouragement to consider joining us for one of these fun 5-day forays through some amazing technology. And I look forward to seeing you in an upcoming class. If there are any questions at this point in time, I'd be more than happy to take them.
Hey, I just also wanted to mention that the handout section of the GoToWebinar, you'll see that the PowerPoint that Khalaf is presenting is there, as well as the infographic that you were sharing about the Citrix certifications. Those are available for you to download.
Thanks, Rocco.
No problem.
Do we have any questions coming in here?
I do not see. If there are anyone that does have questions, you can simply put them in the questions box or chat window, and we can look out for them. So while we wait for any questions, I just wanted to quickly mention that this webinar is recorded, and all attendees will be emailed a link to the YouTube recording later on this afternoon. And if you have any additional questions, maybe that you think of at a later time, you can always send an email to info@nhls.com, and I could relay that to Khalaf, or if I can handle them, I can handle them that way as well. Just wanted to keep that in mind, because sometimes you have questions that you think of later on, and maybe now you feel like everything was covered, but just keep that in mind that you could always send us an email later to get an answer.
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay. Well, I think, Khalaf, we could call it. Yeah, I think we can call it as a job well done. If we do have questions, I will send them your way. But again, thank you all who attended. Thank you, Khalaf, for your time. And remember, he is the 2015 Citrix Certified Instructor of the Year. He's very humble. He would not probably say it himself, but I just wanted to put that out there again. That is no small feat. So everyone have a great day, and thank you for your time, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you all.
All right, take care.